Can you just start us off with a few comments about practice tonight?
I tell you what, we had a good 24-period practice. Got a lot done. Went to work. It was a very physical practice, very demanding practice, and it was good to see.
You guys have a lot of contact?
I would say for a normal Tuesday, I'd say there's a lot of contact, but contact is definitely needed right now.
After having a chance to kind of go back and digest Saturday, what are your thoughts on what you saw?
Well, kind of like I said after the game, and we've got to find a way to run the football. We're a run-play-action team, so we got to find a way to get that done. Our thoughts early on that game was to run the football, and we weren't able to be successful. So, but we got to find ways to run the football, and we've got a chance to be a good offense if we can do that.
Were you purposely sort of stubborn about running the ball?
Well, anytime you go into any game, you have a plan. You have a new quarterback, and so our thoughts were to run the football early, and we were trying to gather information also at the same time, and we weren't able to get first downs, and didn't run very many plays in the first half. So yes, we definitely ran the football in the first half, and that was our plan. Ideally, we'd like to run more plays and open it up a little bit more and keep them off balance a little more.
What did you think of Barrett after watching?
I thought he had a solid performance to start out. I was pleased with the way he protected the football. That's the number one thing that you worry about with an inexperienced guy. With his first start, he protected the football well. He also led us to 2 touchdown drives at the end. I thought that was positive. There was some that he missed. But he's a competitor, and I expect him to get better each week.
Even with the struggles on offense, how big was it for them to have those last 2 drives to kind of build confidence?
Well, you look at the positives. The positives were we didn't turn the football over. That's very important. And then found a way to win. And there's a lot of teams that can't find a way to win. So I kind of told our guys that's the positives we take away. We got to protect the football. That was a big thing for us. But we just got to find a way to get more first downs and get momentum. We're a big momentum team. Y'all have seen that the last 2 years. When we get the momentum in our favor, we're a pretty solid offense. And when we don't, and there's 3 and outs, it can definitely look ugly.
Is Trey Mason continuing to make progress?
Yes, Trey Mason is making progress, and I think a lot of our younger guys too. I think you'll see those guys come on each week even more and more, and a lot of them are overwhelmed, but a lot of those guys will get better each week.
Anticipate any personnel changes, particularly up front?
Well, we'll gather information. With an inexperienced team, I'll just say this: with an inexperienced team with a lot of unknowns, I think as coaches you learn a lot each game. I look back at last year, and we had a lot of the pieces of the puzzle already in place, but we really didn't figure out our true identity, probably till game 4. So we are gathering information each week as coaches, and our goal is to get the best 11 on the field and get the ball to our best players. So we're still a work in progress, and so each week we're looking to improve.
The physical side was obviously such a big part of last year's success with the offensive line. Where is this year's line in that department?
Well, we got to get better. There's no doubt about that. And Coach Grimes is one of the best in the business, and I know that he'll get those guys ready. And our guys came out today with a really good mindset to play physical football. And that group, for the first start, you got to remember that we have one lineman that had 11 games starting experience. The rest of them, it was their first rodeo. You got a true freshman at center, and so the encouraging thing is that we really feel like they can get better each week. It's just a matter of how quick they can get the communication, the cohesions, and it takes a lot for an offensive line to gel together. So hopefully that'll happen quicker rather than later.
Would you see at Mississippi State's defense in their opener?
Well, they're very good defense. A lot of those guys up front, and a lot of guys in the secondary we've been playing against for the last 3 years. So they're an experienced defense. They're very physical. They're very fast, and it'll definitely be a challenge for us.
It's a little different for Brandon too, mostly playing left tackle.
Oh, there's no doubt. Left tackle and right tackle is a complete different position, and so yeah, that's. There's a lot of new faces up there, and like I said earlier, I really expect those guys to get better each week, and that's our goal. I feel like we got a chance to get better each week. And if we do that, then we'll have a chance.
Without having a guy like Cam back there who you can call the power play and expect 5 or 6 yards every time, I mean, does that make play calling a little bit more challenging for this year's team?
Well, you know, what makes it challenging is we got all new faces for the most part, other than a couple positions. But, you know, really, to be honest with you, last year was the first time since I've been coaching college that I had the luxury of a guy that could run like that. So, you know, as a coach, you try to build around your quarterback strengths, and Barrett has definitely strengths, and so you will see us try to build around his strengths.
Do you feel like without having, I guess, that potent of a threat back there as a quarterback run, do you feel like the defense is key more on the tailback run game than?
Yeah, I think that's any offense, you know, that you know, has more of a traditional quarterback. They're going to key on the tailbacks.
Gus, how did you assess the job Barrett did, just managing the game as you just did?
Well, protecting the football, he was outstanding. And the way he managed the situation the last 2 drives, I thought was very impressive for the first start.
How about before that?
There were some things that he'll get better at, and he'll see and he'll understand better. And the quarterback position in college is an extremely tough position to play, and it doesn't make a difference if he's been watching and been in the offense for 3 years. Until you actually get out there and see the different looks and actually play the position, you know, that's when you learn. And I'm learning more about him, and he's learning more about himself, and you know, each game.
Because of that same thing holds true with offensive line too, because of cohesiveness.
Oh, there's no doubt, all positions. You know, the thing about offense, you know, you got to have all 11 of them doing the right thing. If one of them's not, it can really make everything ugly. So that's our challenge, and that's our goal, to get all 11 on the same page, and we believe we'll get that done.
Yes, there's a lot of talk about D'Angelo Benton before last Saturday, and he was going to be a major part of things, and he didn't play much at all. It was just the number of plays.
Well, you know, you have a plan to play a lot of different players, and then the way the game transpires changes some things, you know, and you know, we'd like to play some other guys, not only D'Angelo, but some other guys some more snaps. But the way the game transpired and the urgency, it kind of changed things. And then the fact we had 50-some plays didn't help either. So not only him, but there's some others that you'll see on the field as the year goes on.
When you look at it, you had 54 snaps, I guess, and you scored 5 touchdowns in those 54 snaps. Is there some encouragement there?
Yes, the fact that we did score, you know, I think about the last 2 was the big thing. You know, the last 2 when we really needed to. I was real proud of our offense in that standpoint. But at the same time, you know, you're trying, as a coach, you look to see the areas you need to improve on, and there's a lot of areas we need to improve on.